I'm scared to death. The cop said he'll track me down. He has a gun. He'll shoot me in my sleep. He's used physical violence on me. He's blackmailed me.
It's Elegant Elliot often. Don't call him a he, cause she's a she. It's Elegant Elliot often.
Hello, world. Yes, it's I, Miss Elegant. And look how sensuous, seductive, and sexy I look as always. So, it's all pink today. Pink shoes, pink NBA compression sleeves, girly pink gloves, and yes, we're past Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, G-string lingerie with what Howard Stern said is the sexiest ass and legs that ever lived, or that ever will live. Check the curvaceous curvature. We always start with the curvaceous curvature. It's statuesque. It's picturesque. The negligee is vagina high. Shoot that camera right into the vagina. Look how flat the vagina looks, right? In any event, we usually start off, and we might as well follow the same format as usual, with a godly segment, a godly format. So I, Miss Elegant, want to say to all the RAF out there, RAF, it's short for riffraff, for all the septic tank cesspools, scum of scum, and scum of the earth, and to all you troglodytes and bedlamites and parasites, that let's start doing the right thing. So the first thing you do, for all of you necrophiliacs and lugaroos, werewolves, and necrophagiacs, necrophiliac and necrophagia, these are great words that not too many people know. That means you feed off the dead and you have sex with the dead. There can't be anything lower in the world than that, right? So my purpose here is to help you, lowlives, for a complete metamorphosis. And the way you're going to begin, and listen to this is sound advice. Now check this out. Start off with making a vow, a commitment, an oath, a swear, a promise to yourself. No more vile, vulgar, filthy, dirty, gutter language. In other words, no more F words, no more C words. We all know what these words are. No more P words. We don't want to use any of these words anymore. We don't need to. Now check this out. I, Miss Elegant, I used to use those words in my everyday vernacular. It was part of my everyday vernacularity. Like that word vernacularity? I don't do that no more. No, never. Did you have one podcast? Show me one. I'll give you $1,000 for every time on a podcast you've heard me use the F word, the C word, the P word. Never, no more. I haven't done it for years. Now, why? Right? The question is why. So, dear God up in heaven is a holy God, right? He's a righteous God, right? He's a godly God, right? Now, he gave us our existence, right? Well, why don't we live in his image? And why don't we do the right thing? Dear God frowns on that. He despises that. He loathes that. He loathes that dirty, filthy, scummy language. No deal, no good Gobi, no dice. No good Gobi, no dice. So why don't we find a way to express ourselves? Like many times I'm like me, I'm Miss Elegant, I'm like angered at something, right? But I'm using all high class words. Now, most of these words are beyond you lowlives out there, but you don't have to use my words. Just pick a different choice of words without using these terrible words. Every time you use these terrible words, the F word, the C word, the P word, you're defaming the omnipotent and the omnipresent name, the ineffability and the invincibility and the inscrutability and the incommensurability, like those words of dear God in heaven. Now, check this part out. I, Miss Elegant, I'm not saying, now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I never use those words. I'm saying Miss Elegant, I never, 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 never use those words to promote myself. Like when I had the video, Violet dehumanizes Miss Elegant, it was all over the place, right? And it was part of my, again, I'm repeating, it was part of my everyday vernacular. Now, the only time I will ever use dirty words, nasty words, profane words, is if there is somebody flagrantly and egregiously trying to disrespect Miss Elegant, or there is some homophobic crumb bum that's trying to commit a hate crime against Miss Elegant, some homophobic crumb bum who's trying to commit a hate crime against Miss Elegant, then I could resort, yes, to the dirty language if I'm in a compromise or I'm in a dangerous situation with some miscreant that is or some dangerous criminal, then I can resort. But other than that, never. So that's a way that we could start to make the world a cleaner place. When you say make the world a cleaner place, people think, I'm not going to litter anymore. Doesn't mean that. Clean means clean language, the way you conduct yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you comport yourself. Now, people might say, well, Miss Elegant, look how flagrant you are with your dress code. Your bottom is out, you have a vagina high negligee. Well, this is all art. It's art. This is artwork. This is gorgeous, right? You don't see my genitalia, you don't see my vagina, you don't see any private parts out, right? And seeing the bottom, that's picturesque. Listen, they have a Labor Day parade, right? With 20 million people, 20,000 people, 10,000 people on Kingston Avenue in Crown Heights. Everybody there is wearing G-string. I'm not comparing it. I'm just making it. This is the law of the land. And as long as, and by the way, when my bottom is exposed, right, it's not exposed to the flesh. It's always with pantyhose, right, or stockings and G-string panties. So it's not like it could be like considered lewd as in nude. It's not that way. It's covered with, these are my slacks. My pantyhose are my slacks. Let's get that straight. Okay. Another way, a part of the godly segments here, give tzedakah. Tzedakah means charity. I don't mean coins. I don't mean dollar bills. Give to your ability. Help the less fortunate. Make dear God proud of you in heaven. Everything you have, every dollar you have on the face of the earth comes from dear God. We spoke about that last week. So give back. Give to the needy. Give charity. Go into your pocket. A lot of people say, well, I help the needy. I give my time. I give my kind words. That ain't good enough. That ain't good enough, right? Go into your kick. I don't mean for some George Washingtons either, right? I don't mean for some George Washingtons. What in your pocket? Take out a couple of hundred, take out 100, take out a 50, take out a 20 if you see people in need. Help people. Give back. When you're giving back, you're saying to dear God. You know what you're saying? The message is, dear God, I am so grateful. I have such gratitude. I have such appreciation. I have gratefulness. I have gratitude for everything you've given me. I want to give back. I want to share it. And do yourself a favor. If you're not a Jewish person, go to Bible service. Go to your church. Honor God. And if you're Jewish, make sure you're going to synagogue with regularity, and you're davening, and you're doing all the things that a Jewish person is supposed to do to live up to all the mitzvot that we're supposed to have to sanctify dear God's name. I don't mean to plug this, but I'm just saying it very quickly. If you're a Jew and you're somewhat disconnected for whatever reason from your religion, or you feel somewhat estranged, Chabad Lubavitch, Chabad, Chabad Lubavitch is a Hasidus organization. Hasidus, I'm saying it right. They are the ultra Orthodox people, and they welcome everybody. So they make you feel at home. Where I go, 419 East 77th Street, Rabbi Benzine Krasniansky. He's a gem, he's a sweetheart, a lovely person. And if you're poor, if you're rich, if you're married, if you're single, if you're gay, if you're straight, he loves everybody. He loves every human being. He wants to take you in. He wants to bring godliness into your life, holiness, righteousness. He wants to share his knowledge with you, and he wants to help to uplift and upgrade and up-level your life. So, Chabad Lubavitch, what a great organization. I just want to mention one other thing, a part of religion. I'm going to skip this, so go to health after this, my usual segment. I got a disturbing phone call from a friend, I don't want to mention a name, earlier today in my beautiful apartment in Midtown East. And they were saying that there's a segment of Jewish people that are rebelling, and they're burning their face masks, and they're protesting that they want to have thousands of people in their synagogue at one time. And okay, so my take on this is, according to our Bible, the Torah, we're supposed to follow the laws of the land. So if the mayor and the governor are saying that you need to not have thousands of people gathering, it's my advice as a Jew to another Jew, you shouldn't really do that. You shouldn't burn masks publicly. I don't know who was doing this. I got a phone call. Because think of it, you don't want to contaminate your family. You don't know, which one of you could have anything, and you don't want to contaminate other people. Jewish people are known to be conscientious, dedicated, people of high morale. We don't want to do anything that will endanger or put anybody else at risk. Okay, now, people may say, well, Miss Elegant, you never wear a mask. You're right. Well, I'm in a completely different category. Number one, I'm in a celebrity world. That's a different world. These are lay people out there. That's a different world. My health at 70 years of age, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem, is probably better than the whole community put together. So I'm in no danger of infecting anybody ever or putting anybody at risk. And God willing, because of my optimum health and my immune system, the strength of my lymphatic blood system, probably with God's help, nobody's in danger of infecting me either. So I'm in a different category. Don't look at Miss Elegant. Do what the average lay person is doing, the everyday person who's walking around New York City. Okay. This is a situation where you want to bring me into a nightmare that happened to Miss Elegant, regarding the New York Police Department, regarding the NYPD, and a high-ranking official, not just a cop, a high-ranking official in the NYPD. And it happened many years back, and I've been living with this, and I've been suffering with it, and I've been scared to death. I have a doctor who's ready to come and testify if it goes to court. I've been under his treatment, telling him about this, and he keeps telling me to turn the cop in and turn him in, and I'm scared to death. The cop said he'll track me down. He has a gun. He'll shoot me in my sleep. He's used physical violence on me. He's blackmailed me. He's stolen all of my I had this lavish crystal collection. Well, all right, I had this lavish when I was living in the. So I had this lavish crystal selection. All of my really expensive pieces, I was in transition, and he was going to store it for me. I never got it back. He stole all the very expensive crystal pieces. He worked for me. He's shaking me down for. We have arrangement for a couple of $100. He's shaking me down for a couple of $1,000. He's moonlighting. He's not supposed to be doing this to begin with. He has no license. He has no permission. So he's a bad cop all around. He's threatened me with death. He's committed grand larceny against me. He has me blackmailed. Witness intimidation, meaning I want to be a witness against him. He's threatening to kill me if I'm a witness against him, to come in with a gun and shoot me in my sleep. All this money that I gave him when I had money from Howard and from other areas, it totaled to, we figured it out in a period of like 6 years, to about $400,000 or $500,000 literally. Where did all that money go to? I mean, it's none of my concern where it went to. But after all the things he's done to me and how he's harmed me, then I have to say I want to blow the whistle. That's federal income tax evasion. That money was never been declared. So he's a bad cop, federal income tax evasion, grand larceny, witness intimidate, blackmailed me to death, extorted me, had me shook down for money. So we have another bad NYPD cop. And so, folks, fans, Miss Elegance fans, my fans, my foes, my enemies, my friends, who's ever tuning in, you don't want to miss. You don't see me shaking my head and my beautiful curly hair going back and forth. You don't want to miss next week because, oh, I meant to tell you, fans out there, I am so dead serious about what's going on and my name is Miss Elegance, so I don't have to embellish or exaggerate or amplify and magnify, right? My life is already on top of the world. So I just tell it to you the way it is. I'm like Howard Cosell, say it the way it is. I've already, and I'm going to bring the receipts next week, God willing. I have a $24,000 receipt from lawyers here in Manhattan that I've paid lawyers out of my own kick, no pocket, to pursue and prosecute this cop, this high-ranking NYPD official. And so that you see what I'm saying is not a bunch of bunk or manure or a bowl of dish of poppycock or hogwash. I'm going to produce the receipt. Meaning, if I gave a lawyer $24,000, and the receipt specifies everything. It has the cop's name on it, what they're investigating, what they're going to do, what they're not going to, everything that they're going to, how they're trying to expose the cop and bring the cop to justice, the high-ranking police official from the NYPD. So, and next week on our show, I'm going to be prepared, Miss Elegant. I'm going to be prepared to give you the exactitudes. You like that word? All of the exact details, the specificities of what happened. When I say the specificities, the dates, the cop's name, his first name, his last name, his address, where he lives, his cell phone number, connecting him to the crime, to the multiple felonies he committed against Miss Elegant and the precinct he was working out of. Don't miss it! Don't miss it! And don't miss it next week.